Yeah, morning guys, we'll start again. So, where are we in the last discussion? So, we almost started the strings. So, do you have any doubts? Are you guys played anything in the existing things? What we discussed in the last class? Any doubts in that? There is no doubt. So, what about the assignment? How many have you completed that? Is it possible in that array concept I told, right? So, reduce the lines using the power. Is it possible first? Possible or not possible? If anyone done that one, you done. This one we can make directly if you want to go with the formula, is it possible?
Without using array.
Are you tried it? Are you trying? Yeah, speak loudly. Others also learn. So for us, our early stages, we use always like C language. So by default they use like 0. Okay. So after many programming languages came, so they also try to copy the C languages mostly. But in like React we use like one language type. So by math, we need to find index numbers to like mathematically we need like only first we have to follow the index ones. Like we have to calculate with a plus 4 like index number. Okay. So anyone have any other idea why its index start from 0?
So because index represents how far, like distance, from the element is.
Okay.
So if it is starting point 0, if it is one step away, then it is like 1.
Good, fine. Any other points? So here few languages only following the indexes start from 0 and few languages start from 1 only. So why they mainly set it as this was a default? The reason began the same. What she told and you also told, but you just understand the things what you are telling, that will be helpful. Because if we are telling doubtfully, another question will arise in the interview. Okay, don't tell any doubtful answer. Okay, make sure. So that is fine. Let's back to that. What is the major reason? Like let's assume that memory address. You are let's take an example. Memory address start from 1000. It won't be like that. And for example, you take as a 1000. Okay. If indexes start from 0, like for integer, how many bytes you want to give? 4 bytes. Okay. Then it indexes will be calculated like that only. One by only memory will be allocated. It's 4 bytes, 1004 until 1002. 1004 allocated for which one? First variable. Then the calculation will be easy. If you are starting from 1000 as a 1 indexed from 1, that will be problematic and we lose 1 byte also. So that is the major reason. Okay. So apart from that, inside nothing. So as we are following some tradition, this won't be any interview question, but you guys just aware. Okay. So let's back to our main concept as a string. Okay. how it was reducing day by day? Is there any reason or what is the reason, guys? Any idea? What we seen earlier, so we have the memory like this. Okay. Inside that we have a stack memory and we have a heap memory. This one only we see, right? This is stack, this is heap. Okay, fine. These are the two memories we have. Okay. So here, if you are come to the string, string also considered as an object only, not a primitive type. Okay, string also one of the object only. So whenever if you are want to create the object, where the object will be created, heap memory. There is no doubt in that. Okay, fine. Here the object will be created. Okay. So here, like once you create any string, okay, string initially start from the immutable. So what is the reason why they make that one as the immutable? What is the purpose? Any reason behind that? What is the reason, guys? Any idea? Why they make string as a string as immutable? What is the reason?
Because it cannot be changed.
Cannot be changed. That is the definition. I am asking the reason why they did that. So, if anyone telling any rule or if you are going to learn any new language, they are telling some definition. You have to follow this rule. Then ask the question why I have to follow. If I didn't follow, what is the impact? If I followed, what is the impact? You have to aware of those things. Then you will get a clear idea. You won't forget in your entire life. That is the ultimate goal. Okay. So why the things was immutable? So we have already so much of variables we have, like a data types we have. We can able to keep that, but we have a sensitive data also. So for security related purpose, once the data was received from any user from the server request, I will explain the flow how the server request will be received and how it going to backend, how the process, then how to return back to the response. Everything we'll see in the while we seeing the Spring Boot. So now let's understand. If user giving some username password, once we collected as any one of the variable, it makes sure it won't change in the middle of operation. Okay. So that is the major purpose. String was made as a immutable. Okay, in future some other concept also that via that we can make as a mutable also, but it's not needed. Okay, we'll see that one. Let's get the clear understanding about the string. Okay, so once any string object created, okay, so what we seen here, it will give the reference. Okay, here let's assume let's assume one variable was there. This variable is a string. Okay. So what is that value contain? Okay, I'm giving my name. So now string contain the one name, one value. So okay, here we will allocate some memory address for this. From this it will be linked to in the stack memory. Okay, there is no doubt in that. Okay, so this is the entire string concept. Like a simple, it won't be by default it was immutable. You can't change the value. Okay, and if you are doing some performance also, like here what we did. Yeah. Here what we did, just I created the first name. After that I just rewrite the first name. So this time what the things happen begin the scene. Okay, first. I will write here. Okay. First name will be like a John, I guess. J-O-H. Okay. Second time, what you are doing, you are just like. So next time, I am just overwrite the first name. Okay. So that time, what I am doing, John plus Doe. Okay. So this time what we will do for first name, actually first name won't be here, here value only there in the string pool, value won't be there. So we have our own concept called as inside the heap memory for string manipulation, we have our own pool that is called as a string pool that was constant. Okay, it won't change. That's why we called as that is immutable, we can't mutable that one. First time when you are trying to store, like in the once first line was executed, the value was assigned as a John, we gave the reference. Okay. Next time the first name become a John Dio, then what we'll do after the line to execution, we'll remove this reference, that's it. But this John will kept in the string pool constant only. That constant pool will have that value, John value it will have. Then what is the purpose? How the memory management will be going to be here? Okay. In future, if anyone asking, anyone trying to create any value for the John assigned to some variable, so that time it won't create a new. It will just establish the reference only. Like that it will work. Okay. So when it will be removed, actually once GC executed, it will be here. GC in the sense garbage collector. Garbage collector, you don't have any control about the garbage collectors. That is a big concept actually. So I am just giving some overview about garbage collector. What it is mean, what is the purpose? The first purpose, like whenever heap memory feels heavy and it was it was too low, that means the performance was reduced, that time garbage collector will be executed. That time what are things will be considered? What are the values don't have any reference. Okay, it won't used anywhere, that time it will remove the values. Until unless garbage collector executed, that value will be stay there only. Okay, there is an advantage also, there is a disadvantage also. We'll keep the value there. First advantage what we have in future, like for other variables also, if I am using the John Doe for other variables also, it won't create the new value. John Doe won't be created again. It will give the establish the relationship only. Okay. Next thing, until unless garbage collector is executed, it will be stay. Okay. That is the that is the only disadvantage in the string constant pool. Okay. So here, if you want to make that string as a mutable, we have the concept called as the string buffer and the string builder. Okay, so that is called as some under the thread concept. We will see the thread concept. That concept is too big. Okay, we will see in the maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We will see the thread concept. Okay, fine. That time we will get the clear idea about the string builder and the string buffer. So, anyone have any doubt in buffer and in string?
Sir, if the garbage collector removes all the previous string names, if I want to create a new same file John,
Blindly don't remove. So that time I told you, once garbage collection was executing, that was executed by the JVM only. You can't, developer don't have the control about the garbage collector. Okay, when it will be triggered, whenever the heap memory was getting full. Okay, how the heap memory will be allocated? Any idea? It depends on your OS, how much RAM you have. Based on that only heap memory will be allocated. Okay, So if heap memory, like when you are creating the thousands of objects, that time heap memory become full. That time what it will do, garbage collector will be triggered. It will check what are the objects not in the use and what are the objects don't have any reference. It will remove all the things. Okay. If it have the reference, it won't remove. While executing the code also, the garbage collector will run. We can't say which time it will be specifically run garbage collector. That is not possible. But the possible way, whenever heap memory becomes too low or heavy, that time it will be executed. If you triggered also, we have one method called as a system.gc. But if triggered also, the JVM have the access to deny. You can tell you want to execute the garbage collection, but it have the access to deny your request. Simple. Okay. Any other doubts? So what are these until we learn from that we build on console application, okay? Like okay. Now what we going to do this session mainly we are going to build on console application. Console application is nothing but it don't have any UI. It all the inputs and outputs we can see in the console only. Okay. So if you have any doubt, this is called as a console. Okay. I hope you guys know just for info. Okay. Fine. Then we have the one application we are going to build. So this time I am taking one bank application. Okay. I created one class called as the bank. Okay. Now tell what are things will contain the bank. So if you want to define the class, what are things you need? If you want to define the class, what are things you need?
Account numbers. Bank.
Think about the programming term I'm telling.
Like
If you want to create the bank class, what are the things you need? If you want to consider bank as a class, fine. Any other things? Forget the concept.
account number.
What is class? That is a memorized answer. What is class? What it have? If you want to consider like the last time I told you this example, right? Sorry? If anyone telling bit loud, I didn't hear you properly. Do you want to say something?
Methods.
Methods? Any other things?
Construction.
What kind of answer this? Simply forget the class definition. So definition is what you memorize, that is not a definition. You want to consider this object as a class. What are things it should contain? Are we
Real world entity. Real world object.
just listen my question. If you want to create the class for the remote, okay, what are the things it should contain? I am asking. If you want to consider this is the class, what are things it should contain?
Button operating.
Methods, functions, methods, both are same or different? Functions not available in Java. Next. Attributes and behaviors. Where are you guys in any space planet? Forget all the things, only 2 days. I don't want any particular definition what you memorize, that won't be helpful. Just listen the question. Don't like if I'm asking the question like what is the question I asked? Simple. So this is the question I raised. Okay. You want to create a class. Okay. You can't tell all the things is the object, right? I am telling so this is a remote is the object. Okay. So if you want to tell the object, what is the definition like an object? What is the definition of the object? What is object?
Attributes
Attributes and behaviors for the class. Object.
object is real world entity.
Real world entities. Okay. Any other instance of the class? Okay. Just make sure where are you guys? Okay. So simply forget the things won't be helpful. Okay. Let's back to the topic. Okay. If you want to consider anything as a class, what we mean it should have the attributes and behaviors. Attributes is nothing but a variables. Behaviors is nothing but called as the methods. Don't forget in your entire life. Okay. If you are sleeping, if you are in the dream, if anyone wakes you, that time also if they raise the question, you must tell these things. Don't tell the blueprint of the. Listen the question. If I'm just asking what you guys just understood from my question, you just heard the class word only. Rest of the words you guys didn't listen actually. Why? So that is the mistake. In interview, each question and if they are asking each word will be mandatory. Okay. So let me ask the one more question. Can anyone draw like a triangle with the two lines? How? At least 4 dots. Now my question is triangle with two lines. Is it possible?
Yes.
How?
You didn't say you need to.
Can you draw?
Yes.
Come and draw here. Whoever want to do, come and draw here. That is touch screen. Draw the triangle with two lines. Anyone want to try? Make sure, listen my question. You will get the idea. Return the question first. You try it, Google it. Google that GPT.
I read about it quite a long. It is not salary like only two lines.
I am only tell the two lines only.
Only two lines. Draw the triangle.
Draw the triangle with the two lines. But what is this? This is correct. Are you sure?
Yes.
I am telling wrong. Any other one? Come and draw. Understand the question, you will get the idea. So programmer is not only knows the programming language, they have to think. No. No. Anyone want to try? What I told, what is my question?
Triangle with two
Like
lines.
this.
This is triangle. It contains the
Two
two
lines.
lines.
Oh yeah.
That is my question. I I'm not telling you you have to draw the triangle with only two lines. I told with two lines. What it is mean with?
Yes.
Along with
Ah. So how the understanding skills?
And yet after I started.
This is not a memorized answer question. You forget sometime, forget, remember sometime. So understand the question. This is the things I show only for the how you are understanding for the question. That is too important. Like if I interview more than like 50 to 60 people, real world interviews I did, they placed in the MNC. So what I asking most of like 60 to 70 people what they are telling them writes the question. They not even understand the question. They will start the coding. I simply okay fine. I will get back to you. Then I will like wind up. Simple. I won't do any other thing. First of all, first check I will do if they are understanding the question. If they didn't, I don't do anything. If they did, if their understanding is different, based on that they return the code some very well, they are good at anything. I won't care about that. I just skip those guys. Simple. If they not even understand my requirement, what can I going with do with them? If I hired also, if I am hired you, okay, you are not listening what I am telling the requirement. You are doing up to you, your wish. Then what is the purpose of hiring you? Okay, so make sure. So all are just examples only I am telling. Okay, don't make anything as a serious. Okay, just fun things only I told. Okay, okay, fine. So now the string was done. Let's build on control application. Okay. So what are things bank will contain? So this attributes and behavior. So I'm giving one attribute like they don't make as of now as a complex things. Double. I have a balance. One attribute I have. Okay. Then I have one method called as the. Okay. This is fine. We can keep. Public. So as of now, forget this. So this is the I just created one variable. Initially my bank balance how much? I will give some amount. Okay. This is my bank balance. Okay. If I want to access my balance, how can I access? This I have to next time I will block this recommendation. Okay. Okay. First I have to create the class. Anyone tell the syntax for the class object creation?
Bank.
Syntax. Syntax for creating the object.
Class name.
Class name.
Object is equal. Object is equal.
First of all, no, don't tell the class name. That will be correct only. No one going to do it. But tell us the reference, class reference, or object reference, or a type. Simply tell object type. Object type, object name is equal to new keyword, next constructor. Simple. Don't make the things also too complex. Fine. Okay, that's called as syntax. And here another question: the bank will contain the entire object or what? Once you created this is the object creation definition, right? Once this object created, it will live where? In the memory area. In heap memory. Any doubts? If anything not understanding his communication have any issues? His pronunciation, any spelling, I am confused. Or you guys didn't get the question? What are you thinking, lad? Okay, fine. So whenever if you are creating the object live in the heap memory. So is just to give the reference. Always the bank will contain the reference only, not the entire object. That for sure. Like what I want to do, I can using this one, I can access my bank balance. Okay. Now I can do anything with my bank balance. So let's do simple deposit also. I can do. Okay, let's run my code. Okay, what is my updated balance? So first time I got bank balance as how much is it? 9 lakhs. Okay. So after that 9 lakhs 5,000 or 50,000. 9 lakh 50,000. Okay. So for initial balance mine is 9 lakhs. After that I am updating a 50,000. 9 lakh 50,000 you have. But usually bank will allow this. Think about the some real world. Okay, we'll build from some scratch from our idea. Let's add the real world scenario. Okay, is it possible bank will allow? First of all, you can directly edit your balance if they are giving any platform also. Is it possible first? No, they have to give the amount. They verify with that, then only they will give the okay amount will be credited in your account, right? Okay, fine. Then how can I do that in the code? Okay. So first what I am going to do, this time I am using one access modifier as a private. Okay, fine. If I use access modifier, anyone can access this balance. Okay. Let's run this code. Let's see now. They are not telling here they are telling. Okay, let's understand the problem. What they are telling, unresolved compilation problem. The field bank dot balance is not visible. Oh, what it is means? Balance is not visible. Why? Earlier it was visible, now it's not visible. Okay. Why? Because if I use the private, what is the scope for the private modifier?
It will be accessible
Up to
within a
the
class.
up to the function, you cannot access beyond the class.
Up to the function we don't have in Java.
Up to the class would
Up to the class. Good. What are the things you are telling? Maybe you guys going to scold me in your mind, but damn sure in the end you guys make sure what in each keyword is too important. Make sure, fine. So the what is the scope of that access modifier private? You can access within the class. Outside the class, it won't be visible after you create the object also. Okay, fine. If I am building this system, for customers, fine, they can't increase their balance. What about the bank employee? If you are filling any checks, if you are giving to them, they will upload and next time the amount will be credited. Let's think about the real world scenario. How that thing is going to work now? What do you want to do? We want to give the access to them, not these guys. Let's think about how you want to give the access. Huh? Can you do? What is your name? So what I'm asking, okay. First I am the bank balance, the balance variable attribute it public. Anyone can access if they created the object. Okay, that means you have the account, you can access the entire bank, other guys' accounts also. That is the way we designed initially. After that, I told, I don't. If you are access your bank balance, your bank account also, you can't change your balance. Okay, without any access, any authorization, something that will quite a big thing. We'll come to later. But as of now, what I restricted here, I don't let them do any modification in the balance. Like if what are the accounts do you have? If you have accounts in SBI Bank, okay. So that time if they give the access, you can increase using just a click button. If you increase your bank balance, that is going to happen. So for that, I don't give the access to people. Simple. I block. Okay. This is fine. This is what our expectation. First scenario was done. What is the next scenario? Let's think about the bank manager. Okay, bank employee. They have the access. They can able to increase your bank balance. Okay. How you are going to give this system to these two peoples in real world scenario? What you want to do? Think about the attribute scope within the class. So next thing could be whatever you want to do, you can do within the class only. Sorry?
The one more modifier
Getter
is there,
status.
that is called.
What is getter status?
We can use protected instead of find to be the only access to the field.
That is fine. Protected is quite different use case. Not for this. We can for protected. I will explain that exact use case for protected. Any other idea? Getter setters fine. What is getter setters? I know you guys, all the guys know what I am going to do next. You guys definitely know. But if I am giving the explanation for that, that is different. Okay, why you guys came here? That is a major reason, right? Apart from the nothing else, everyone knows this concept already. But way of telling, way of your understanding, that is too important. Okay. So what he told us, of course, that is called as a getter setters. Okay. What here I am going? Let's think about some. I don't have. I am dumb. Okay. I have until know what are the concepts I taught. Those concepts only you guys are aware of it. From then, how you want to implement this one. Already I told the balance attribute you can access within the class. What you can do simple. What are the other things we have inside the class? Attributes and behaviors. Behaviors is called as a so far methods. So we can go with the methods. Using methods, we can access these private attributes. Simple. Okay. Now I gave one more layer. They can't directly access their bank balance. They have to call the one method called as the deposit. Then only they can able to deposit the money. Okay, fine. So now what is the benefit? Initially I told it's start from the private. You can't access anymore. Now I am created one method called as a deposit. But this is public, right? Anyone can access. But here the things will come. Here you can restrict. Why? Because don't like you can't give the access to all of them. You can restrict the one particular method based on their rules. Okay, what is the current role for this user? Based on that you can restrict. Don't give the whole access. Instead of you are giving one more layer. That layer is a method here. Okay. Using if anyone want to call this method, they can update it. Okay. I will come later. Like who can I restrict this method only for these particular users? Okay. Now I want to get the balance. What I want to do? How can I get the balance now? Okay, simple. Okay, so I can't directly access my private attributes now. I have to call the methods. Fine. If I run the code, I'll get my existing output as a bank balance as a 9 lakhs. After that, I updated as a 9.5 lakhs. Okay. So this is the concept called as the encapsulation. Okay. What it is called so far encapsulation. You have to what? Bit loud. Wrap the. I didn't hear you properly.
Wrap the data into single units.
Wrap
the data into single unit.
Single unit. Okay. Good. Any other answers anyone have? What is called as encapsulation? Just give some everyone.
Like the functions or the methods, everything which is captured like this. Like
Everyone knows these capsules, right? So if you anyone eating any drugs in the tablets, they will capsulate the internal things. They won't directly give the things. If you want, you can open. Okay. So this is called the so-called encapsulation. I just adding the one more layer into the data what internally it has. Okay. So here the another question will arise. You are telling encapsulation is what, like just hiding the data. Okay. How we are going to hide the data? Fine. So now we hide the data. So that is my balance, real world scenario. Fine. This one I am telling called as the encapsulation. Okay. Then what it is called as the abstraction. So here so many doubts will arise. Why? Because we have a similar concept called as encapsulation, abstraction, interface. Here people will mix up all the things. We don't know. Anyone knows when I want to use which one? Anyone can explain that? I won't raise any question. If you want to explain. Definitely I don't think so, because we will mix up all the concept. Why? Because while we are learning, first I learned the encapsulation. Okay, fine. This is encapsulation. I just using a private method. If I am doing this is called as for encapsulation. I don't know what is it exact mean. Okay, fine. Then come to the abstraction. Add some one keyword is called as abstract. That is fine. If we come to the interface, adding the one keyword in front of that at the interface, it is called as a so-called some blueprint or some other things. Okay, so those are the things only we know. So let's understand. Why as of now I skip the interface, will come later. Okay, while I am coming to the inheritance, that time I will come to the interface. There you will understand the clear idea, because in OOPS concept each and everything will be interconnected. There is no doubt. Okay, fine. This is called as the encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Is way of hiding the data. How you hide the data? That is the encapsulation. Let's come to the abstraction. What is abstraction? Just to keep in your mind, encapsulation is nothing but how. How you are doing, how you are hiding your data. Fine. What is abstraction?
Abstraction is also hiding the data only to show the essential information only.
Show the essential information only.
Example
True,
like,
correct.
example like ADMs, it only gives up what are the
Okay. You gave the example. Now tell the exact answer. Example 5. Definition.
Without knowing the background details.
Without knowing the background details. What it is called as a, we are telling us a background details and those things. But it is called so far. You are hiding the data. Which way you are hiding the data? Let me. So which way you are hiding the data? That is called as the encapsulation. Like what are the things you are hiding? Like you hide the data. You follow the encapsulation. Fine. Now I hide my balance. That is called as encapsulation. What is abstraction means? Like which way you followed, like which logic. Okay, fine. So here I used something, right? Used some getters and setters. If anyone knows and used getters and setters, I have the method. Getter and setter method if I have, anyone aware of it, if they can able to access that method. Am I right? So here I am going to hide the logic. Which logic? Initially I just hide my data using encapsulation. I followed some logics. Here I followed some logic is called as getters and setters. And inside that method also I am going to do some executable lines, executable logic. That means like if you want to withdraw your, let's take another scenario. If you want to withdraw your balance, what it will do internally? First they will go to your fetch your balance, first scenario. Next they will check your current request is greater than or lesser than your current balance. Based on that they will give some response. After that they will deduct that money from bank server. They will transfer, okay, they will approve that money. Then only you can get your money from the ATM machine or in Google Pay, any request. Begin as if these all the things was happening. They didn't tell what is the logic of implementation. How I implemented this one. This one so called for as an abstraction. Okay, any doubt? Why I have to hide the data? For the security purpose. Okay, following how I am doing that That is encapsulation. Okay. Next thing, if you are already hide your data, but I don't want expose how I did those logic and implementation. I want hide that my implementation also. Okay, fine. If I okay fine. Here I am making one remote. Fine. I didn't tell what are the components internally. I just hide my motherboard inside this remote. Motherboard will be there. I just hide the motherboard. Everyone knows that motherboard. Here also everyone knows. They definitely use the encapsulation. But inside that encapsulation, if you want to do any performance, what are the logic you implemented? I am going to hide that logic also. That is called as a so far abstraction. Okay. Let's give the difference to the interface. Okay. What is interface? Anyone differentiate? Is it possible now? What it is interface? Now you guys use GPT or something else. Get the clear understanding, then explain to me. Any idea? Anyone can explain that? If you know, tell.
The declarations, implementation.
The declaration implementation. Do you want to give any difference between like encapsulation, abstraction, and interface? These are the three concepts and mixed together. All the times we are going to do that. Encapsulation also no one going to ask. Okay, that is the one way. That is the one of the concept you have using to hide the data. Fine, no one going to ask that things. But abstraction and interface, everyone will ask. Why? Because both will do the same work. What it will do? It will hide the logics. It won't give the detailed view. Okay, fine. Then it hiding from who?
From the user.
From the user. Okay. Let's deep dive into the who are the users.
The public.
Okay.
Those who are not developer.
Not developers.
Means those who are.
Okay, that is the user in the sense like that is the common answer. Okay, what is the exact answer? Whoever can come to that place. I'm hiding some data, some logic, some of implementation. I'm going to hide. I'm going to expose my implementation to anyone. To whom? To whom the answer is the user. Fine, that is a common answer. What is the exact answer? Who are calling that object reference, that place, the implementation will be hide. It become a developer, it become another class, it become another package inside the code also. It become a real time like any users. So user definitely will contain these all the things. Okay, but as a programmer, whenever if you are giving any a tech term like whoever calling that object, caller of object will be hide. What are the implementations we are going to hide from whom? Caller of that object. whoever calling that object reference, I'm going to hide this implementation. If that means it will contain all the things. It is not a common answer, it is a specific answer. Definitely you want to access the any data from the class. What do you want? You need an object. Definitely you go with the object only. There is no any other ways. Okay. Who are calling that object or attributes? Simple. Sometimes like if any attributes become the class level, they can use the class reference. Okay. Simple. Any doubts? Okay. Let me give the difference between the abstraction and interface. Okay. Fine. Abstraction I told. Abstraction is nothing but I'm going to hide my implementation. Encapsulation is the how I did. Simple. Then what it is so called for the interface. When I want to use each, interface is just a tool. Okay, but abstraction is a concept. Okay, don't mix it up. Okay, and interface is called as like you are a CEO. Okay, let us assume. Okay, you are a CEO. Which company you want to build? Tell. Huh? Tell any IT company you want to build. Or you want to keep as a secret? Tell so just randomly you tell. You want to build another 10x scalar. Okay, up to you. You name it as a 100x scale. Fine. Any other things? If you are going to build the own company or something, you know the idea only. Okay, I know this idea. But it should implement. Once I am build this company, definitely those things must be implemented. So that time I don't need to give my basic things like let's take so I am a team lead. Okay, under me 5 or 6 guys was working. One requirement came to me. They explained to me I want to complete that requirement. Fine. So how I give the task to other guys? There is a two way. First way, I can how they did to me, how my manager explained to the requirement. They don't give any basic code, they don't give any basic class, they don't give any basic setup, they just directly give the contract. They told it's just a contract, you have to complete this requirement, that's it. I want this application, simple. I want that industry pilot application, simple. They won't give the any definition. These are things must have, these are things don't have. They won't give like that. They simply tell this is the contract. You have to complete this industry pilot. Maybe it have this kind of things. That's it. They don't give the any basic class. If the CEO is giving me the requirement, he won't come and do the code. This is the base code I completed. From here you do. He won't do that. But what I am going to do, I am the team lead, I am the technical lead, I have to build the base things. Base setup I have to do, then give to my junior developers. They will start from there. So what I am doing, that is called so far as abstraction. What my CEO did to me, that is the interface. That is the contract. Now you guys understood where you want to use which one. Anyone tell any others different example, anyone want to tell? Understood or not? Any doubt there? Ask. Okay. Another example. Do you understand this example first? Can you just explain again what I know?
So the CEO, which is allotted you, given the work to you, that is going to be interface. So, and the work which you have done and give it to your juniors, so that will be going to encapsulation.
Encapsulation.
Abstraction.
Okay.
No, for him.
So, do you want to add anything? Why? You tell. This is a simple thing. You just tell what is in your mind. You just tell. You want to come here and tell or what? Then there only tell. So you're going to explain any interview. Okay, interview. Let's assume I am the interviewer. I am asking what is the difference between the abstraction and interface. Definitely, damn sure this question definitely will arise. How you are going to answer that question?
Like,
From your understanding only.
like abstraction is hiding the implementation details or hiding the main logic part of abstraction. And coming to encapsulation, it is all the methods. What are the methods? What are the use we need to hide? Binding of all the data.
Okay. Interface. But I didn't raise the question about the encapsulation.
Coming to interface, it is the implementation. All the implementations are done in interface.
Implementation and the interface. Are you nervous or any issue? Then actually interface things was you bit step to other track. Okay, do you want to recorrect that? I give you one more chance. That is fine.
One still interface.
You?
As of now, we are the trainers assigning the task to us as interface. Abstraction doing the work. We are the students to complete the task.
Okay, fine. Begin you. What is your name? Akshay. Akshita. Yeah, can you do?
Abstraction is what all we are doing, hiding the logic.
Okay.
Interface is the tool where what operations are there that will be shown.
Did you complete it or did you complete?
Encapsulation means in encapsulation data is hidden. You can access through the methods like data methods. Abstraction means hiding the implementation details
Okay.
and showing only necessary part,
Okay.
necessary details. Like interface means it is a tool, and also interface is a rules to achieve the abstraction.
Okay.
So, encapsulation, here we map the data, and coming to abstraction, basically we don't know here the background data to hide the details. And interface, basically it's like a collection of abstract methods and static constants.
You?
Abstraction means
When CEO will, when we get the contract, CEO will create interface. Later to juniors will create abstraction overall. Okay. Encapsulation is hiding the properties of. It will behave like as a tablet. Okay. Did you complete it or not? You can.
encapsulation. Encapsulation means make sure the data hidden from the users. We use the private or public. Abstraction means hiding the
That's it.
Basically, come to the encapsulation. We hide the data, encapsulate the data from the user. And the abstraction is hiding the implementation of the logic and showing the essential data to the user. And interfaces, coming to the interfaces is like the classes blueprint for class, like defining the contract of the classes, implementation of the classes behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all? So if anyone asks to me, okay, so you guys raise the question to me now, I will give the answer. So what is the question I raised? What is the difference between the abstraction and interface? I didn't ask about the encapsulation now. Okay. So make sure what are the things I am asking. You give the answer for that. I don't raise anyone to additionally encapsulation tell what is the mean by encapsulation. And don't mix up with my examples. Okay. So that will be confused to others. Okay. What they will understood. Okay. You are not have the good idea and that will skip. You just memorize like that. They will understand. Okay. So today I think few things is going to the theory part. Let's do that knowledge. Okay. So if anyone asks to me what is the abstraction, what is the interface, I will tell simply. What is abstraction? The abstraction is nothing but no need to show the all the logic and internal implementation. We can hide that. That is so called abstraction. While come to the interface is just a tool to use or implement the abstraction logics. Abstraction concept. Simple. Do you need any example for that? You raise the question. Then, if they want any example, then tell. Let's take one scenario how the MNC company, the requirement will be distributed. Come that way. Like from top level, manager will give the task, top level contract only to the senior developers. They will just receive the contract. So, what it is contract? That is the one of the tool. That is so called as an interface. Okay, fine. Then what the developer going to do, senior developer, split the task, set some basic setup, then give to the junior developers. That is so called for the abstraction. So how my answer? I don't have any panic. I'm not hesitated. I'm damn sure what I'm doing, what I'm telling, I'm damn sure in that. Okay. So my session won't be not only explaining the concept, understanding the concept, won't be like that. So today I know quite things will be theory part, but it was needed. Okay. So when you have any objection in that? Back to here. Okay. What I told initially we have to black the access, but now what I did, I just use some. This is called as a getters and setters. If you want to set any values, that is called as a setters. If you want to get the value from that private, you encapsulated the data. You want to hide the data from others. Like, are you going to allow your cupboard to view any other ones? Definitely not. Your friend also you won't allow. I'm sure. Are you going to show your cupboard like this is my home, this is my private cupboard? You want to see? You can see. This is your key. This is my key. Definitely we won't do that, right? We're going to hide the things. So that is thing. But I am giving my key. After hiding, I gave my key. Okay, this is the key you want to see, you can see. That is called as a set, getters and setters. How can I prevent that? We'll stop here. I will explain when we come to the abstraction part. Okay. So why? Because I am stopping middle. There will be interconnect between the abstract and the interface. Okay. Encapsulation fine. This is the encapsulation so called for. But we'll come to the abstraction and interface. We'll get the clear idea. I will come later for that. Okay. Before that, we'll go into the one more concept called as the. Okay, fine. Okay, this is my I just build. We keep this is our first version of our banking application. This is my console application. This is the banking console application I did. This is my version 1. You just commit your code to your GitHub. Fine. We'll optimize this banking application later. Fine. So encapsulation concept I implemented here. Any doubt in this? I just gave I just gave the just the overview about the abstraction and interface as well. Okay, fine. So we have one more thing called as the. I don't want to tell the concept name. I can give the overview about that. We'll deep dive into the code logic tomorrow. Okay, today mainly saw the encapsulation only. Okay, fine. Next thing. Let's take one example. Like now you guys completed any basic question of this session. Fine. Next week we are going to conduct some exam. Okay, fine. Because we have multiple peoples, we want to filter it out. Whoever really show the interest, how they understand the basic. Okay. From that only we are going to filter. We'll move those guys into the next system. We'll teach the advanced. Everything they will get. Okay. So make sure you guys are put that with basic things. Don't, I'm going to ask any advanced level, base level only. What are things I raised, what are the question I raised in the middle of the session. Going to raise that question only. Fine. But while I am contacting, okay, let's come to our real world scenario for coding part. What it is the name always in the top? Definitely our company name. 10x scale data, I am going to keep it, right? Why? Because if I am giving any question paper or if I build any platform to you guys going to write the exam in that platform. What is the topic? Like what is the company name? Always 10x scale. What is the heading and everything will be same for all the guys, right? So let's come to that into real point. That into our coding language. I want to build that platform, exam platform. Let me do that now only. I have to testing. So what I told, what are the things will be same for all the guys. String equal to sorry, what I told, company name equal to I'm going to give value. So I am going to give as our okay, company name was there and year of established, fine. So I don't have any method as of now, let it be. Okay. So if you guys want to access the exam platform, definitely you have some username, password. Keep those part. If you want to access the tool directly, first you have to create the object, right? So what are the things we have? So we have so called for as the not the company name. This is the tool name. So here always it should come as okay. So here let assume this is the only one user. Let assume each user definitely they have the different object for them. There is no doubt in that. Let assume for each user I have to define my company name, year of establishment. That is things for same for all the guys. There is no need to create again and again, store the value and again for all the guys. It is what it is going to. There is a memory in memory, like not a efficient manner. This totally spoiled our entire thing what we learned until now. So what it is? What can I do for this kind of things? So we have a concept called as a static. Okay. So we have a keyword called as a static. Okay. I am just giving the one overview about the static. What static will do? Once memory will allocated for the static variable and value will be assigned, it will share across all the places. No need to create the different object and value for that variable again and again. That's not possible. It will create a static, always created only once, share to all the peoples. Wherever you are calling that variable, company name, all the places, it will give the same value and created only once. Understood? So that is concept called as a static. Will come to the detailed view in the next session. Okay. So any doubts in the today's session? All are clear? Any doubts? Okay, fine. So let's understand here. So initially, like fine, I will give some example. So here what I did, okay. So every time if I am creating any object, what I have to do, I am doing the same thing for company name and year of establishment. In the exam tool platform, this name going to view all the guys same name, same year. There is no difference. So what I am doing, there is no need to give the every time, no need to give the object again and again. No need to create and store the values for those variables also in the memory. That also inefficient way. So what we can do, so this is the same thing will arrive for all the guys, just to create only once and give to all the guys. That is a simple concept. So you want to do that, you have to do make as a static. You want to make that attribute as a static, it will create only once, but shared across all the places wherever it was called. And if you are make any variable as a static, no need to go with the object. Okay, fine. We'll see the detailed view in the next session. Stop here, okay? Any doubts? Or else we can wind up. No more doubts? Okay, fine. So I will share the notes and the questions. I will check suddenly sometime, okay? So sometimes some question I will stop in the middle. I will check the assignment. So don't think about I am not checking the assignment, okay? So make sure you guys doing the assignments every day. Okay, fine. Do you guys need to take a 5 minutes break? We'll continue the next session.